Good news! I can finally say that my classic Doctor Who Season 17 Blu-ray undamaged replacement copy finally arrived. So after all this time, I can say I own this. Over 4 months after the UK, we in the bottom of the world can finally go out and buy it for the price of an arm and a leg. Bad news, I am still sick, so forgive the lack of energy. But don't worry, I'm not doing the whole good news, bad news thing like I did from last week's intro. No. We're too busy digging out the old Myths and Legends box set today. Oh my goodness. You guys really hated Underworld, didn't you? Alright, the Horns of Nimon. Not Nimon like I thought. This one seems to have the reputation of being quite over the top and goofy. And yet, I haven't actually seen any disdain towards it. It seems to be everybody's guilty pleasure. But if it's everyone's guilty pleasure, then it's not really a guilty pleasure, is it? And besides, being ridiculously camp is hardly a good excuse for disliking a classic Doctor Who serial now, is it? So, it must actually be good. And surely I'll end up enjoying it. Alright, let's see what we've got here. I see. Oh good. More ritualistic cult sacrifices. Yay. Y'all know I'm sick of that trope in the classic era. Cults and sacrifices and all that rubbish. But thankfully, it doesn't go all the way with that kind of stuff. It's more the catalyst that gets the story going. The Horns of Nimon is the official finale to Season 17, originally airing over the Christmas holidays of 1979, bringing us in to a new decade. That's right, from here on out, we're in the 80s. And I couldn't be more terrified. And yes, I do say official finale, because as most of us already know, T.A.R.D.I.S was cancelled, and, well, we'll be talking about that next week. In the meantime, we've got a story that opens strong with an almost mini prologue that effectively sets up the events of the plot before the TARDIS explodes onto the screen. Oh, and I don't mean in, like, the sense of a grand entrance sort of thing. No, I mean that there are literally 4 or 5 little explosions in the TARDIS console room within the first few minutes. I'm surprised the poor thing can still function with the Doctor pulling its guts out. Oh my goodness, the TARDIS is severely damaged. And then it goes on to collide with another ship. The one from, like, the little prologue thing at the beginning. It's funny that they choose to do the whole 2 spacecrafts colliding in the middle of space plotline 2 weeks in a row. Like, we literally just saw that last week with Nightmare of Eden. Certainly hope they're not running out of plot lines already. Oh, come on, surely the TARDIS has got to be dead now. No, the blue box is fine. More than fine, actually. In fact, it's been so long since the TARDIS has shown off some inexplicable, never-before-seen technology that's not likely to appear in the show going forward. Going all the way back to the William Hartnell days, where we had the secret hand gestures to open the door when there was no power to the TARDIS, or that wonderful machine that could make literally any food you could possibly imagine, or how about the giant freaking interstellar television, which they apparently took out of the Blu-ray release because they couldn't get the rights to the Beatles. In this case, it's a sort of space bridge with light and gravity and oxygen. That would have probably come in handy a lot in the past, but I suppose they do something similar with the modern series, having the invisible air bubble around the TARDIS when it's out in space, so you can get those pretty camera shots of the companions admiring the view without suffocating to death. Evil space doggo. I don't actually want to talk about the plot itself that much. It's a alright story to chuck on the telly in the background. Visually pleasing, but nothing groundbreaking on a first watch. Though I could see myself finding more to appreciate on a revisit. But I see why you guys like it a lot. The main villain's performance is so deliciously camp and melodramatic. I read a comment on a YouTube video that claimed in one particularly infamous scene, which actually turned out to be his final scene, that they were doing a rehearsal take or something like that. So the actor was really hamming it up and overacting to the max. And then the editors chose to use that take instead of the next one that they actually took more seriously. But then again, that's just a random YouTube comment under a YouTube video, so, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Source, trust me, bro. Graham Crowden, the actor who plays the main baddie, T.A.R.D.I.S, is very clearly a stage actor. Or so I thought. I recognised a lot of the over-the-top facial expressions and excessive gesturing as stagecraft from my time as a stage actor. But I was surprised to learn that he's primarily remembered for his screen work. So, maybe he just likes to go over the top with his acting sometimes. Or maybe I'm just an idiot. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I refer to him as the main villain because the titular Nimon themselves, yeah, they sure do exist. The costume sure is a look. But the design just doesn't do itself any favours. They're basically walking A poses like broken video game character models. And here I was thinking that the mandrills from last week's serial were stiff and rigid. At least they could raise and lower their arms. Why is everyone trying to be an Auton? Oh, so they can move their arms, they just choose not to. I guess they'd rather walk around looking like a taxidermy penguin. Also, I hate the noise they make. I didn't to start with. I actually really liked it. I thought it was this cool, rumbly, creative alien sound. But after hearing it so much continuously, I just wanted to scream at them. Just clear your throat already. You gargling, grumbly gits. Still, at least they're a slightly more intimidating threat than the bloke from the beginning. Poor guy's got a hole in his trousers in the worst spot, and nobody told him. How did nobody notice? Or fix it? Were you that desperate to get the shot? You're like, nah, we gotta do it. Don't give him a spare pair of pants. Thank goodness he was wearing underwear. Also, I hope you like that horn laser effect, because you're gonna be seeing a lot. Did the Doctor just cause that guy to get killed? I'm pretty sure suspended animation doesn't mean dead, so he just got a guy killed. Oh man. Oh no! Dude. Doctor, they're not ogre. They're not sentient rocks. They got lasers, man. You can't be doing that. Not your proudest moment, Doc. Moving on. As I said, I don't really have anything more to say about it, if I'm being honest. I would lump it in with many of the other just solid serials lately. But truth be told, I don't have any strong feelings about it, either which way. Maybe my fourth Doctor fatigue is really starting to kick in. Tell you what I am getting fatigued with, this damn tiny hat that's too small, and you'd think it would have stretched after 6 seasons of reviews, but no. I guess I just like cutting off circulation to my brain or something. Oh, I tell you what I did like about the Horns of Nimon. The idea of creating 2 black holes at separate ends of the universe and then connecting them with like a pathway. So I thought that was pretty neat, using them like portals to instantaneously travel from one place to another, as long as you don't think about it too much. The changing maze-like facility was a cool concept, even if it wound up being kind of pointless by the end. It didn't serve the plot in any important way, it was just a thing that was there. A cool thing that was there. Actually, a big positive, my final thoughts on the serial is this. It's good to see that Romana once again had a lot to do this time around. I really miss the days when companions would actually have things to do that would impact the adventure. Good stuff. Oh, and I've gotten used to K9's new voice, just in time for John Leeson to return. But before then, before season 18 I mean, we've obviously got to talk about T.A.R.D.I.S. So if you're watching all of these in order, that'll be the one I'm covering next. But there also might be an extra special video coming out around the same time. What is it, you may ask? Well, You'll have to stay tuned to find out. Unless you're watching this in the future, which you most likely are. So yeah, it's the Expo video. Thank you very much for watching. Season 17 was the solid season, wasn't it? Nothing egregiously terrible. Tune in next week while we talk about T.A.R.D.I.S. I can't believe I've got to watch 3 versions of it. Or you can just skip to season 18 if you like.
K9.